Hey guys, welcome back!
I've been kind of slacking on the long-form content lately. I've been posting to TikTok a lot though, so Disabled Danny has been doing a lot of short-form content. Today, we're getting back into long-form stuff. So on Friday, June 13th, I went to the Hopes and Dreams Gala at St. John's Resort. The venue is absolutely beautiful, as you can see. I went with my friend Mara and had such a good time. Fun fact, I used to shoot weddings here back in the day. Speaking of weddings, my brother Andy married his fiancée May on June 21st, which was the summer solstice. They tied the knot at sunrise and I'm so friggin' happy for them. Bouncing back though, the Tigers played against the Reds on June 13th as well and won. That was the only game that series they won, and Sunday, June 15th was Father's Day, which I already made a video on. Link in description. Monday is my cognitive therapy day and the Tigers had the day off. Tuesday I didn't have any appointments so I just listened to the Tigers game. I said I didn't want to just take Woodward sports clips for my recaps. But I will say Don Kelly, or Donnie Kelly Baby, is now the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, who were in town. Wednesday I went grocery shopping but the Tigers game was called off because of weather. Look at this shit.
It's raining sideways!
Because of that there was a double header on Thursday. I feel like I should play this now.
Dear Detroit, even though I'm from a small town in Arizona, we have a lot more in common than you might think. As I've learned more about our city, it's clear that Detroit has faced its fair share of adversity, which has at times put its future in question. For me, I only had one offer to play Division I baseball. But this city is resilient, and this team is resilient. The adversity we face makes the eventual greatness even more rewarding.
Tigers will not stop!
From a 0.2% chance of making the postseason to hosting playoff games at Comerica Park. From a 9th round pick to unanimous Cy Young winner. From a city in crisis to one of the greatest Renaissance stories in America. We are all overcoming the odds. You believe in us, and we all believe in you. Detroit is a sports town and a slept-on city. You don't understand this place or the people in it unless you've been here. The grit and the grind, the hustle and the attitude, the culture and authenticity, but also a community where neighbors take care of each other and lift each other up. I felt it more than ever at the end of last season. The way you all showed up and created an electric atmosphere made me feel so proud to be part of this community. It's a new era of Tigers baseball, and we're building something different. A new standard has been set, and we're about to clock in like the blue-collar people of this city. So say what you want about us, about Detroit. We have unfinished business. So, let's run it back.
It's nice having a pitcher who can go out and throw over 100 pitches. Detroit is definitely behind you, brother. That gritty, gutty attitude isn't unique to the Tigers, though.
We've obviously heard, all the stories about Dan Campbell. We've seen him do the actual crazy things. We've seen the Antoine Randall give J-Mo, the dad finger on the sideline. Awesome. What's like the wildest thing you heard from a coach with your time with the Detroit Lions?
So, Coach Campbell was just telling us a story. I forget what game it was going into. The base of the story was he was saying that, he was in a situation or a scenario growing up, and I guess kind of like a fight broke out or something like that. And he said that, I want to say he was on the ground or something, and all he saw was like the back of somebody's heel, kind of like their Achilles.
Yeah.
Oh, no. And he said all he could think in his mind was he wanted to make his teeth touch. And I forget what game it was going into, man. I'm like, man, that's a true Dan story, man. And every time guys hear stories like that, man, it fires us up.
Yeah.
Just to hear a story from a coach, and how just relatable certain things are, and the parallels between life and certain situations, handling adversity, how those things are so parallel to an NFL season.
Yeah.
I think he always kept that in perspective with us, in the biggest games and in the biggest moments.
People from Detroit are fighters, and I'm rolling proof.
You practiced and played with one of the best in Jalen Ramsey. You had a great game. I just looked it up against Darrelle Revis.
Yeah.
Any similar traits in our guy Terrion Arnold that we could be hopeful for?
Yeah, again, I think it's always a learning curve a little bit at the cornerback position, especially seeing how much, man, he played last year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think, man, for a guy like that, to be able to be in the fire like that, play a lot of man-to-man snaps in meaningful and pivotal games, I think that's going to help him out light years as far as a corner and his confidence coming into year two. There's not much that he hasn't seen in year one.
Yeah.
Again, when you're playing man-to-man situations in those big games on a team that every game matters, playing for the division, so on and so forth, and you have Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, different guys that you're having to see and play and match up with man-to-man, once year two goes, I think he'll really get into his groove. I think he can be very similar to the style of player that Darius Slay was, as far as how he kind of got into his groove, and you really saw him take off as a player as well and have a long, good career.
During the second game, the Pirates used their ace, which was effective at first because Pittsburgh took a 4-run lead after 3 innings. But the Tigers rallied because, like Scoop said, this team just doesn't give up. Friday is my inclusively fit day, but of course I listened to the Tigers game that night. The Tigers unfortunately lost. They also lost on Saturday but won on Sunday. It was unfortunate they weren't dominating in those games, but we're halfway through the season with 50 wins. I think we'll be fine. With that, I'll roll out.
Autobots, roll out!
I'm on TikTok though, and you can also subscribe to join my cult, the Dan Fam. If you're a Danimal or not, I appreciate you staying until the end. If you could also like the video and hit the notification bell.
That would be great.
But remember to be gentle.
Pizza, y'all.
They see me rolling, they hating.